Hi, good morning and welcome to Build with Pandora. I remain Kinder with Anoshaga. Please, if you're hearing any background noise while I am, do ignore the noise. I'm shooting from a very different location. So let's get right into it. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I'll try as much as possible to be as audible so you can hear me. All right, so welcome to Build with Pandora. Welcome to, I guess, day 11 in this series. So Build the Pandora is a knowledge sharing session where we actually teach you ways on how to effectively as well as efficiently market your product and or services using practical case studies as well as practical case studies as well as examples, real life examples. So let's get into it. So we received the question on Build the Pandora, and the question I would like to answer today is how to stand out from your competitors. Well, most would say that's a very straightforward question. It's not really, especially if you find it difficult to identify who your audience are, right? As well as express your value proposition, because that's where it all stems up from. One way to stand out from your competition, number one, is to identify what's your brand identity like. Does it stand out? Do people know you for what you do as well as the niche you actually serve? That's one. Is it clear? Is it communicated clearly? Because it has to be communicated clearly as well as audibly for people to actually adopt what you're doing. And another is visibility. Are you visible enough? Well ahead of a competition for people to actually know that this is what you do, this is the value you offer, as well as this is how I can actually adopt the service or products that you actually sell. So I've mentioned visibility, I've mentioned being aware, being in terms of your brand identity. Is it uniform? Is it one that is easily recognizable? An example is GT Bank. An example as well is Skit, I believe, which is a brand that actually sells school items and so on and so forth. So some of these brands are very identifiable because of number one, their brand aesthetics, what they actually do. It's visible, it's very clear. When I see blue and when I see yellow, I know Skit is the brand as well as the brand name, of course. So those things are very important. So I've mentioned brand visibility, I've mentioned brand aesthetics. Another way to stand out from your competitors, most importantly, is your what I'll call a brand promise. A brand promise is very, very clear. It is a promise to your client, it is a promise to your audience, right? And not deviating from it regardless of the circumstance. A classic example of a brand promise that I always give is Amazon, right? They promise to be the most customer-centric brand in the whole of the world. And they carry this out in their day-to-day activities in terms of when you actually place a product, when you actually place an order for a product on their website, right? And a classic example, again, I usually give is, I believe I bought a book a couple of weeks ago or years ago. I can't quite remember right now. My brain is a bit scrambled. And one thing Amazon did was they actually refunded me, in terms of when I placed the order for the book, the value of the book had dropped by I think about $1 or $2. And what they did was refund me the difference, right? And I did not know. So that stood out for me. So that's a brand promise. They kept their promise of being a customer-centric brand, and they were always on top of things in terms of my delivery, in terms of tracking and so on and so forth. That's a brand promise, and that's pretty much an exemplified brand promise. So it's properly identifying your brand promise. An example for you can be as a fashion brand, you want to ensure your turnaround time is sewing and delivery to customers in about 1 week, right? So 7 days or 5 days, and you make it explicitly clear. And not just that, you always communicate along the way in terms of what you're actually offering your customers. So those are three. I'm just going to stop there for now, and because I have a very limited time and there's a lot of noise where I am. But those are the three main brand ways to stand out from your competitors I'm going to share for now, and I'll dwell on the others much later. So thank you so much, and thank you for joining Build with Pandora today. Have a wonderful day, and please feel free to send me more of your questions, and I will do my best to answer them regardless of where I am in the world. All right, take care.